Welcome back to the Cannonball Mindset. My name is Chad Santrigan, and it is Thanksgiving. It is Thanksgiving, and it amazes me. Like all of a sudden, the weeks leading up to Thanksgiving, everybody goes in this immense state of gratitude, and they have to start telling everybody what they're thankful for, and everybody gets this euphoria from sharing their thanks, and it's great. I had a client call me the other day and say, "Hey, I just want to let you know how thankful I am for you." And it's amazing. It's really, really, it makes you feel good when you express gratitude. I'm saying there's study after study done that expressing gratitude can change your physical health. Obviously, it changes your mental health, but it can change your physical health too because of the chemicals it produces in your body. But I've always wondered why it's just now. Because what's crazy is, I don't need gratitude now. I don't need gratitude in the moments that I'm going to be with my family, eating turkey, having their day off of work. I don't need it as much. Yes, it's important to have. But the true test is, can you be grateful when your back's against the wall? Can you be grateful for the struggles that you're having? Can you be grateful in this? That's when you need gratitude. If gratitude is your superpower, I don't need my superpower when the villains are asleep. I need my superpower when the villains are alive and awake. And so in this time of gratitude, what are you grateful for? But what have you been grateful for all along? And what do you need to be grateful for? What can I shift my perspective on when it comes to gratitude? See, for me, I had a tough year. I had a great year. I've shared in a lot of ways, but I had a tough year with the critic in my head, and the gratitude was the thing that pulled me out of the ditch. The gratitude is the light at the end of the dark tunnel, but you need to walk through the dark tunnel to get to the light, and that gratitude is what I needed to light that tunnel up. But most people don't see that. What happens is they get frustrated and they feed that emotion. And the lifespan of any emotion, sorrow, happiness, joy, love, whatever, is 45 to 90 seconds. That's it. 45 to 90 seconds, unless you feed it. If you feed the emotion, that emotion becomes a mood. So think about it. So I'm pissed off. I'm driving down the road and somebody cuts me off in traffic. Immediately, my emotional state changes. And I say, this guy, and it's always a guy for some reason. This guy can't drive, this guy can't, whatever, not paying, whatever. And now now this emotion has taken over. If I just let the emotion play out, it'll dissipate 45 to 90 seconds. But that's not what I do. Because then what I do is I feed and I say, well, I just can't catch a break today. I'm saying I had a shitty day at work, I had a bad day here. Now all of a sudden, and we feed the emotion, and that emotion now becomes a mood. And now the mood has picked up momentum. We've manufactured momentum in the emotion because we keep feeding it. And then, we go home and we're pissed off and we kick the dog and yell at the kids and nothing's right. And we feed the emotion. We feed that emotion, which causes the mood. We feed the mood, which now becomes kind of my persona. We become the energy vampire. We suck the energy out of the room. We suck the energy out of everybody else. We keep feeding it because now it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And all of a sudden, now we have this dark cloud. And all of a sudden, now we have this personality trait of, I'm the energy vampire. And that becomes our personality, which then we typecast ourselves. Well, that's just who I am. Nope. It started at some point as a snowball and has turned into an avalanche because you keep feeding that emotion. Well, what if you just fed the other emotion? What if you fed an emotion of gratitude? Instead of when you get pissed off feeding that emotion, feed the emotion of gratitude. It works for any emotion. I go on. You meet somebody, you go on a date, and you're smitten. So smitten. I don't know, am I 90 years old or something? You're smitten, and so you're smitten, and you feed that emotion. Oh my gosh, she's so wonderful. He's so wonderful. This is the greatest thing ever. And then you feed it, and it becomes a mood. And then I feed him more, and it becomes the same thing. So why do we only feed the emotion of gratitude on Thanksgiving? I'm saying, what is it about Thanksgiving that says, hey, we need to be thankful? It was a meal. It was a meal, and if you really read the history of it, it's probably not the best thing to be thankful for. I'm saying, I guess you could if you're looking at certain perspectives. But at the end of the day, why aren't we thankful on November 1st? Why can't we be thankful on, why do we have to have these peak emotional states of, why do we have to have a holiday to remind us to be thankful for? And why can you only have gratitude for the good things? You know, I was on a podcast interview, or I forget where I got asked the question, but somebody said something about my resume. They're like, oh my gosh, you've done so much in your life. You have quite a resume. And I didn't know if they actually meant it, because I don't really, they said you have quite a resume. And I started laughing. I was literally in a fit of laughter. I'm like, what's so funny? I said, well, my resume is 90% failures. Like, you only see the resume of the 10% wins, but there's 90% failures behind that. But it's because of the 90% failures that I have the 10% wins. So it would stand to reason that I should be grateful for the 90% failures, because without those 90% failures, I wouldn't get the 10% wins. And you don't get to rip a chapter out of your book and have the same ending. A good friend of mine once told me that. So, Ted, you can't rip out this chapter and have the same ending. So if it's part of the story, wouldn't you choose to be grateful for it? So can you be grateful for the things that had you back up against the wall? Can you be grateful for the struggle? And if you did, wouldn't that be the antidote to the struggle? Because gratitude changes everything. Everybody's heard that cliche. Gratitude changes everything. And you can't be grateful and have any other emotion at the same time. Your brain doesn't work like this. So I can't be grateful and frustrated at the same time. I can't be grateful and angry, or grateful and shame. Grateful overpowers all of them. Every single emotion, gratitude is the most powerful of all those emotions. Enlightenment, but I think even enlightenment is a source of gratitude. So can you be grateful? And today, now gratitude, as I said last week, gratitude, the barbarians are at the gate, and the way to beat them off is with gratitude. There's really tough problems that we got to face as a nation, as individuals. You know, my wife this morning was ordering food online. I'm saying, if you don't have gratitude for that you can literally order eggs online and have them delivered to your house now. Like, that's really something to be grateful for. But she was ordering eggs, and she said, oh my gosh, a dozen eggs cost $6. Like, we got struggles. We have real problems. People are getting laid off every day. People are losing their job. Inflation is up. The economy is down. It's getting ready to become an election cycle. People are starting running for election as president. There's going to be more negativity. Can you find gratitude in all of it? Because if you can't, you're going to be the energy vampire. Because people that aren't grateful are the energy vampires. And so your life doesn't have to be perfect, but can you be grateful for an imperfect life? Can you have gratitude for the relationship that didn't work because it prepared you for the relationship that did work? Can you have gratitude for the adversity of when you were down in the ditch because it helped you to rise again? That's the power of gratitude. I don't need gratitude when everything's going great in my life. Or is it that everything's going great in my life because I have gratitude? The key is gratitude through all of it. But how do you get a practice and a discipline of gratitude? Well, you start opening your eyes and shifting the perspective. See, if you're facing a struggle right now in your life and you're wondering, like, what, I'm lost, I feel lost, I have no direction, I feel like I'm stuck, I'm in an unhappy marriage, I'm in a miserable job, well, can you have gratitude for the awareness that you're not living your best self? Can you have gratitude for the fact that you are sitting there contemplating that you're not your best self and how to get out of it? So you're never helpless. There's always something you can do. And the something you can do is shift your perspective, shift your emotion of gratitude, start feeding that, and it steamrolls. That's the manufacturing momentum that we want to talk about, that we got to get to. And it's easy for me to talk about it on a podcast. I understand that. I understand that in this podcast studio I'm in is a shield, is a bunker of gratitude. But when I walk out of here, I'm going to be faced with negative people, negative situations, negative events. I'm going to be faced with clients that are unhappy. I'm going to be faced with people that are frustrated. I'm going to be faced with families that are facing problems. But the idea is, can I reach into my toolbox, my bag of tricks, and pull out that tool of gratitude? See, gratitude is the tool, but every tool needs an operator. So are you willing to be a great operator of gratitude? The way you do that is to, one, shift your perspective. Start looking at the struggles you're facing in a grateful state. Can you have gratitude for the fact that your back is up against the wall, but you've survived 100% of every adversity you've ever faced? And can you have gratitude for the fact that this is another learning opportunity, for another opportunity for you to grow, for you to get better? Can you have gratitude for that? Because if you can, now you're not the energy vampire, now you're the energy provider towards the solution of how to get out of the ditch. Can you find gratitude in the fact that you may lose your job? It sucks. Nobody wants to lose their job. And you can feel pissed off and you can be frustrated for 45 seconds. And then stop feeding it. And then switch it. I have a friend who wrote a book that's called Please Fire Me. And the whole idea was that people sometimes stay in jobs longer than they want to. It reminds me of the movie with George Clooney. I forget, I think it was called Up in the Air, and he's like a Terminator, a corporate Terminator. He goes in, fires people, lays people off. And he lays off this account exec, I think he was, and he says, the guy's all pissed off. And he goes, I got kids and I got bills, and you are a horrible human being for laying me off and firing me, and I bet you don't even care. And George Clooney looks at him and says, when did you sell out? And I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember the exact words. When did you sell out? He goes, what do you mean? He said, look, like, you studied French culinary in college, and now you're in advertising sales or whatever. When did you sell out? And so could that guy have gratitude for the fact that he was fired and led him back into an opportunity to get back into what he truly loved? See, even in the worst situations, the tool of gratitude still applies. But if you only pull it out of your toolbox once a year and it's the same day you pull out the turkey baster, it's not going to do you much good. But if you pull it out of your toolbox every day, every morning when I wake up and say, I'm going to be grateful for the struggles I'm facing today. One of the things I'd learned as a parent of twin daughters is that it's not my job to solve my daughter's struggles. No, I want them to embrace their struggles because they're going to get better. I want them to actually have gratitude for their struggles. So my job wasn't to fix their struggles, but it was to show them how to use the tool of gratitude. How gratitude solves everything. It's tough out there. It's tough out there. But we grow because of the storms, not despite the storms. We don't get better without storms. We get better because of them. And so why not have gratitude for them? Because I know on the other side of this storm, I'm going to get better. I know on the other side of this adversity, I'm going to get better. The challenge is it's really hard in the moment to allow the emotion that solves all to prevail. It's easier to feed the emotion of how we feel in the moment. Feed the emotion for 45 seconds. Feed it and it becomes a mood. Feed it and it becomes a persona. Feed it and it becomes a personality. Feed it and now you're typecast. And once you typecast yourself as this is who I am, you make that declaration, then it's all over. But if you made the declaration of saying I'm grateful, I have an emotion of gratitude, even when my back's against the wall, even when I'm laying in the ditch, even when things aren't working out, even when I'm at my worst, if I can yield that tool of gratitude, everything changes. Because now you've typecast yourself. Now you've fed the emotion long enough. You've typecast yourself as that person is always grateful. If you don't believe it works, go watch the documentary on Mr. Rogers. Real life figure. Go watch him. Look at the adversity he's faced in his life. But guess what? Lived a life of gratitude. Matter of fact, just take the most successful people in the world. It's not they don't have struggles or failures or fears. I'm sure they have 90% failures on their resume, just like I do, just like most of you do. But they have gratitude for the failures because the failures produce the wins. And the 10% wins I have are so much more powerful because than the 90% failures. But it's a choice. It's a choice. The challenge is most of us just have not gone to Home Depot and picked up the tool of gratitude yet. We haven't incorporated it into our life. But once you have it, once you use it on a daily basis, it changes everything. So number one is change your perspective. Number two is use it daily. Become a master at using the tool of gratitude. Wake up in the morning and what do you have to be grateful for? So, that's so hokey. That's not me. Well, if you know me, there's not many people that have woken up besides me, my wife, my kids. But how I wake up in the morning, I have a ton of energy in the morning. It's not fake. I don't do caffeine. How do I have so much energy? Because 99.999% of the time, I wake up grateful. I may go to bed frustrated. I may have horrible dreams. I may be facing adversity, but guess what? I wake up, I got another opportunity. Now, I don't stay in a state of gratitude. I may go downstairs and have a bad morning or have a bad workout or have a rough day, but I always know in the back of my back pocket, I got that tool, and I'm a master. I literally have a PhD in using the tool of gratitude. Start using it every day, and you become a master at it. Use it every day. Be grateful every day, and it just becomes who you are. So change your perspective. Use the tool every day. Don't just use it once a year. I have a miter saw. Like I have this saw that cuts wood in all different shapes and sizes. I've used it one time. I don't know how to master. I don't know how to use it because I've only used it once. Like most of the tools I have in my garage, I don't use them. I don't use them enough to be a master at them. Use it every day, and use it when you need it the most. Saying, "Oh, I'm grateful" when your kids are laughing and you're drinking wine with your wife on the deck and everything's going great and there's a bluebird flying by. Oh, I'm so grateful for this moment. It doesn't take master skills. That's not hard. Go on. Use it next time your kids are arguing and they're driving you crazy. Use it next time your boss has just screamed at you for not getting something done. Use it next time for the next time you fail. That's the power. The power is in the moment of adversity. Can you grab your greatest tool, which is the tool of gratitude? And last but not least, so change your perspective. Change your perspective. Use it every day. And number 3 is share it with others. Don't keep it to yourself. Share what you're grateful for. Oh, that's not who I am. I'm not that frou-frou guy. Man, gratitude is the greatest thing in the world because you get to be the energy provider with somebody else. And as anybody who knows me knows, I believe you have a moral obligation to leave people with better energy than before you met them. This is very easy. You go into any conversation, any relationship, any person that you're around, and deal with them in a mindset of gratitude. And you're sharing that with them. It's infectious. It's really hard to be around somebody that's grateful and not have it rub off on you. Change your perspective, use it every day, and contribute that shit. I know you're going to be grateful. You're going to sit around the dinner table today or Thanksgiving or whenever you listen to this and say, what are you grateful for today? And then you won't ask for another 365 days. Imagine if you use that tool every day, how much different things would look. Comment down below. Comment on this podcast and let me know how you can use the tool of gratitude. And if you're not going to use it every day, then don't lead people on and just use it on Thanksgiving. But commit to using this tool of gratitude. Commit to becoming a master craftsman when it comes to gratitude. I'm grateful for you listening to me. Check us out on social media. Share this episode with somebody that you believe needs to become a master craftsman in gratitude. Have a great week.